Ah, Eureka! It's working. Holy crap. We're actually in-game. That took me by surprise a bit here. So I just go here and... Oh, that's such a relief that we're actually going to be able to see this match. That's great. That's absolutely supremely great. Right now I have just need to turn off the music so that we can actually properly start with the game. And alright. So, welcome to the match, finally between More and BoIt in the round of 16 of the AoM Vanilla Championship hosted by AOL Destroyer for quite neat 500 euros. And well, of course, this is the first round of the elimination part of the bracket. So, this is just the start, and the next weeks are going to be deciding who's gonna be picking up the prizes in the later stages of the tournament. So, we are looking at civilizations on this merit. That BoIt is going to be playing ISIS, whereas More is going to be playing Loki. So, quite different civilizations in here, and in this matchup on Vanilla, without any kind of balance pitches and whatnot, to be honest, I would have to favor BoIt, because ISIS was basically always strong. She has like not really many weaknesses, and on Medit she definitely was on par with Zeus even back then, but still. On AOT she's much better because of the shooting dogs, but even here she's not going to be bad, potentially because she still does have ancestors that could definitely be helping, even on the water fights. You don't really see ancestors used on water all that much, but here it definitely could be coming up, and you can see, wow, somebody went overboard on, on all the ox cards. Yeah, having 3 of them, you don't really need the one at the bottom, but still, he's already thinking about the future, so why not? He's gonna be needing it when he moves into the wood lines on the right, or maybe just on the left, there is still one in there as well. Otherwise, plenty of piggies already for him. Fortunately, he doesn't see the real piggies, the wild boars that he would want for the early game. He's having just some normal ones on the left with some berries and one Oroch on the right. Well, that's definitely not anything awesome, but still, as he is a Norse, it could be still helping him quite alright. He has placed the dog in kind of reasonable position. Unfortunately for him, he has a bit of a problem with actually the fishies being a bit further away, not really all that close, but I'm kind of fully expecting that second dog is gonna be coming here, right below this trio, because he does have another trio on the left and there, but I'm kind of thinking that so far he doesn't know about it. He's having just the one guy on the left. And where is actually the Ulfsark? Has he already died or what? No, he's coming already for the temple. And he's going to be advancing very fast. Okay, so he's apparently going to be attempting advance about 415, basically something similar to what we are looking at Age of Mythology Titans, so it's going to be a bit different. And it might be a bit of a surprise, of course, for BoIt, who is already going for second dog and probably going to be aiming for... Well, I'll be thinking maybe faster heroic with him, but at this stage, since basically, of course, on the vanilla, you don't get the free mythical unit, aka the Leviathan, once you advance through Neftis, I might be really thinking that he might want to fight normally on the water in the classical and just go for a full-on classical fight, maybe even with Anubis. I'm kind of thinking if he does so, he's gonna be coming for Anubis and not Bast. In which case, this could be a pretty interesting fight between those two players. Still not really all that many fishing boats, basically confirming that More will be attempting to advance very fast. Here at 3.5 minutes, let's check into postgame if you're gonna be able to see the drop in foot. Yes, you can see he has already gone for the next age. Just disregard those numbers, they don't really represent the reality for some reason. He advanced at 3, so at 4 minutes he's going to be through, which could be quite a big surprise, of course, for his opponent, as he's still going for some extra docks along the shoreline. It's going to be 4 docks for him all across there, whereas the second dock is already going to be coming here, as More exactly is waiting in this part of the map. So, where is he gonna build it? A bit closer. Well, to be honest, as I said yesterday when we were playing Medit, in Vanilla it doesn't make sense to actually have the docks all that close together, because they're not shooting, so they're not covering each other, so it's a bit better to actually place the dock in better coordination with the fishies. You don't really need to be all that close together. And since the shoreline is not that huge on a Medit in here in 1v1, even if you eject boats at the same time from them, when you are under some kind of pressure, it's still basically the same. So yep, 420 advance right now for More. His opponent probably clicked as well. Yes, he clicked about here. as he's right now casting Prosperity, but still he's going to be advancing quite a bit later, about 5:15 or whatnot, and so I'm definitely curious what's gonna happen. But since he's going for a lot of resources right about now, even a lot of gold, it's really significantly looking like that this is gonna be classical fight from him, but already quite late of course, because More is already through and going to be trying to deny the water economy and be as annoying as possible. With a spy on fishing boat. Well, that's a new one. But kinda does make sense. It does make sense because he wants to see when the boats from his opponent are actually going to be coming up and in what numbers, but he just has to be careful so that he doesn't actually kill the boat, because then it would be a total waste. Let's see. Let's see what he actually does now. And targets the spy ship. Of course he does. Yeah, so I don't exactly think that that was like such a clever choice for him, as Anubis is coming up exactly as expected in there. And let's see how all those dogs, he's actually having 5 dogs right about now, BoIt, are going to be working into his advantage, because he should be having stronger economy by advancing later. And what kind of upgrades does he have? Just an ducks. Doesn't have pickaxe yet, whereas his opponent is probably without any kind of upgrades. Well, he does have Endax at least. And that's about it. And apparently one Hersier to maybe even get some relic. On the right, that's cheaper walls and gates. Yeah, well, not really that awesome for Loki, but still could be finding it useful a bit later. And better build in line of sight, that's absolutely great relic. And something that shouldn't be underestimated at all, as we are going back to the water. And of course, cabinets are coming up in pretty decent numbers, and even the stronger boats from the north are probably not going to be able to withstand the overall pressure that is gonna come. And especially, we mustn't forget the snakies. They are gonna be coming up from the Anubis very soon. I kinda thinking he's gonna want to use them somewhere here, right next to the enemy base, because he doesn't have anywhere to go. Exactly. This is very nice usage and clever one by BoIt, because he knows that More doesn't have anywhere else to actually go from here. So he will have to actually spend time there, and potentially even any kind of new boat is gonna get damage from those snakies, and that's exactly what he wants, and why it's going to be working towards his advantage so significantly. Anyway, he definitely has to work up some extra boaties, not coming up so far. Oh, this is horrible right now for BoIt, yeah, right, at least he noticed. But still, snakes are working their job and doing their job quite well. And of course, even though reinforcements are coming up from the left side, where they were raiding a bit onto the economy, they are right now going to be under attack from the snakes, and they are basically working as extra boats. The snakes are very strong, they are having 8 attack, having 110 hit points, that's quite a lot, with 20% pierce armor. But, well, looking at all the blue boats right now coming up, it seems very well going for BoIt. And even though More is leading on the score, it's trickling down. And right now, the water definitely looks like coming for the ISIS in this battle. Just confirming, as I said a bit before, that ISIS is good on this map. Well then, so this seems like water battle more or less won. It's going to be very hard right now for More to actually come back into the game. So what's going to be his game plan next? He's probably still hiding something inside the docks. Could be just fishing boats. Maybe he's still making some longbows in there as well. Not exactly sure. But of course, already this infantry coming to the right, it's looking like he's gonna be wanting to drop a longhouse about here, I'm thinking, next to the TC. That seems like a reasonable choice for him. In which case, he might be attempting to go forward into the opponent, who is already, though, going for a barracks, because he has fully realized that the game is more or less done on the water, and it's time to advance into Heroic Age and get up some extra armies, some axemen for the defense against the Loki. Yep, exactly, longhouses coming up as expected on the right side. A few extra boats still were hidden inside the docks, and apparently he's still fighting there, but of course he doesn't have all that much of a chance, because those boats aren't just in enough numbers. But BoIt still should be careful, because he will be losing the water economy in there. Also, isn't looking very well for him, but it's going to be just a momentary setback, it seems like. Nothing all that major, because he already has noticed with the boats coming to the left, so yep. Right now, the spy More is just going to be having a look into the opponent's water and basically be envious the rest of the game that he doesn't have the water economy that his opponent has. So that's that for the water, it seems like. Going to be just a question of time before he properly mops up here, BoIt, as all longhouses are up. Houses are going to be coming there as well, and with them horses are apparently going to be the unit of choice, whereas, of course, axemen are the unit of choice for BoIt. So, before the fight takes place, let's check around the map a bit, because we didn't in the early game, as there was interesting stuff happening all across. We're gonna be seeing that there's a very nice gold mine at the back of the base for BoIt, definitely great for ISIS. And since he has the TC there and also a gold mine, another one, quite close by, this is looking very well for him. Very good map indeed, as there's the first engagement of pretty combined army of more, but he should be definitely incorporating a bit more Heresiers, because he does need the spawns from the Loki. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough going, as BoIt is really doing a pretty great job and already taken quite significant lead, even on the score. Even though, of course, the battle is not over. It's going to be all about the proper transition into the heroic age and such. Finishing with the gold, so golden downtime, there's going to be one. It almost seems like that he actually doesn't know about the gold on the left, because he's moving with absolutely everybody to the back. Right now to the left or right, so maybe he knows in the end. Let's check. If he's gonna be camping there, he definitely should be. And I'm kinda right now curious what's gonna happen with actually this TC. If it's the TC that BoIt will want to take, it's going to be very hard for him, of course, because More is going to be playing there for quite some time, going for armory, potentially heroic age for him as well. Whereas the one on the left is so far kinda uncontested, nobody really taking care of it. And it would be very sweet for the Egyptian, because one gold mine, second one, trade route from here, and third gold mine. I'm really thinking he should be developing himself a bit more to the left, but I'm also fully certain he hasn't scouted there. I really think that he hasn't. In which case he might be kind of without the information, forced to go for the ITC, which is not really ideal for him. But still, at least it's gonna force him into the engagement with the Loki, and that's always gonna be working towards us and having a fun game. Bit of idols in there, and still just lingers. Okay, so he's saving food, which should signal advance into heroic age. So far he's not really having enough resources for that. But he's having a ton of gold, apparently. Having about 1500 gold, if this is actually correct. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Oh, towers. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, actually, from More. Now, he will be closing his opponent off, and definitely helping himself against the potential pesky slingers, and even the X-Men that might be coming up, and are always a problem against Loki. So far, it's kind of interesting that he's not using more Heresiers. He's basically not using the strength of Loki at all. Which is kind of unfortunate. He definitely should be incorporating a bit more of them. Because otherwise the army is pretty strong, as he's right now trying to drop out some defensive wall-in, or defensive tactical wall-in rather, to help him actually escape from the enemy fire, and of course to protect the tower as well, that is just now getting researched. So, I'm kinda not really liking all that much how BoIt is actually not making any army. I'm really thinking that full time right about now he is going for... This doesn't make sense. Because he's empowering just the one at the top, so he's basically empowering third of the villages in there. Maybe even less, because of course all the ones at the bottom are going to those, because they are closer. So to be honest, this doesn't make sense to me much. This is like he's empowering about 4 or 5 villages actually. Yeah, well, not sure that's actually a good idea, but anyway, More is inevitably pushing forward and actually doing a pretty good job of that. And second thing that I'm actually unhappy about for More, that he doesn't have more Heresies, is the fact that when Ancestors come, how is he actually planning to fight them? Without Heresies, he's going to be absolutely toast. He's gonna lose all the army, he's gonna lose all the ground, and potentially even allow BoIt to actually go for the town center and steal it from under his nose. I'm really thinking this is a mistake, tactical mistake by More, that might be really costing him quite a lot, because even though those watchtowers are there, they are quite close by to the shoreline, and once the heroic age is hitting, it's going to be very hard for him to keep them up, because of course the naval barges are going to be just shooting at those very easily. Yeah, not really standing for much longer in there. Anyway, Siegewers are gonna be up first. Interesting, we'll be expecting Migdol, especially with how aggressive More is. I'll be really thinking that he could really go into attack a bit more aggressively. Just right now being a bit too passive. You can see right now more, or rather BoIt, even using the opportunity, coming for exactly where he should be coming. For the TC, because of the gold, because of the trade being established there. This is really nice from him. And of course those Usars are going to be way too late. especially if... Oh, so this is what's gonna happen. Alright, more luckily for him, it's going to be at least walling, but still, it's not going to be anything helpful for him. As horses coming to the left are going to be way too late. Gonna be damaged by the boats, apparently, along the way. Yeah, gonna be killing at least a few units, maybe. But still, this is very nicely played. The Migdol is gonna finish before all those boats are there, and that will mean the pretty huge problem for Mor, because he's not going to be able to push through this side anymore, as, of course, war barges are already there, and not any kind of comeback on the water. That's not gonna happen for you. Anyway, is actually Mor advancing into heroic? That was the drop. No, he isn't, but he will soon be. He does have the resources, as each tiles are already coming up to get rid of all these resources. And to be honest, at this stage, all these resources are basically wasted. So, and that's a lot of resources. That's how many? 2, 5. Even with this, that's 6. Wow, that's a lot. That's 1200 wood and 600 gold. Completely wasted. That's an absolutely mind-boggling amount. Absolutely mind-boggling amount right about now. So the idea was nice. It wasn't bad. But unfortunately for Mor, I don't know, he maybe wanted to do much more than he actually could at this stage. And maybe some few thoughts actually collided in his mind. And it's gonna cost him such a ton of resources. Oh man. Oh man. That's incredible amount of resources basically lost right there to absolutely nothing in the end. That's a big shame. That's a big shame. He should have probably stayed at this part of the map and basically push ever forward. Right now he's gonna be dropping the temple, hoping to get into heroic, because I think that he is, yeah, right now coming with the flame weapons and ancestors on top of that, of course. And Hersers are nowhere to be seen for Loki, unfortunately, so this is gonna be an absolute loss of all those units and all the army, as unfortunately medium raiders are not gonna be cutting this against the ancestors, and this will mean a full-on push from BoIt, stealing the TC, already villagers impatient to get on it, and of course on the left already a push as well, even through some extra towers, getting the food there. Yeah, the Migdol with the chariots and this is going to be enough to get rid of all of the army that is potentially coming from Mor. Okay, so TC being right now stolen with Thoth already up from BoIt as well. So he's just gonna potentially use it here, but GG is gonna be called before that, and very, very capably played by BoIt, and you can see he hasn't lost any kind of skill in the years. Most definitely not. And he has handled this very good. Age of Mythology, the Titans player, very well indeed. That was a very nice play by Isis on Medit. Anyway, let's check the post game. That's going to be BoIt with winning everything instead, or rather just not Mythology, which is of course fully understandable. Otherwise, wood enough for more. So he could probably afford losing all those resources on the towers. But otherwise, he was missing it in the food in here. Yeah, I can see the food was missing for him a bit. Even through the late-ish advance from BoIt, the stronger economy from the Isis just pulled through, and of course, the classical age got power in the Snakies definitely helped even more. They had the same amount of units as far as similar economy overall in here in the longboats and the cabinets, but they were in incorrect timings. And plus the snakes. So, GG.